Hi, grade 9. So we're continuing with the 2019 paper, going on to question 5 now. So when they give you something like this and they say simplify the following, you need to distribute. Okay, so we need to distribute that into that one, and that one. So when I say distribute, it means multiply. So we've got minus 4a times a squared gives us minus 4a cubed. Minus times a minus is a plus. 4 times 7 is 28. A times a is a squared. A minus times a minus times a positive is a minus. 4 times 3 is 12. And then we've just got the a. And then we've got it. Okay. So with this one over here, I'm going to have to distribute this 3a into the bracket. So we're going to distribute that one into that and into that. Now with this one, it's a little bit different. We've got two things. We've got this minus 2 that we need to distribute in, and we have this b. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is I'm going to group that minus 2 and that b together and call it minus 2b. Okay? And that is what I'm going to distribute into the bracket. Okay? So with the first one, we get 3a times 7b. That will give us 21ab. 3a times minus c will give us minus 3ac. Now with this one here, I'm distributing the minus 2b in. So minus 2b times 2a will give us minus 2ab. Then we've got the minus 2b with the c, and that will give us minus 2bc. Okay. Now all I do is I just look for like terms. And we've got an AB here and an AB here. So that will give us 21 minus 2 gives us 19AB. And then nothing else is the same. So we've got this minus 3ac, and then we've got the minus 2bc. Okay. I think this should actually be a 4. All right, so that is a 4 because 2 times 2 gives us the 4. And then we have 21 minus 4 gives us 17. Okay, apologies for that, grade 9s. Right, so next one, when you've got something like this, a binomial with a binomial, you FOIL it. So first, outer, inner, last. So the firsts will give us x squared. The outers will give us plus 5x. The inners will give us minus 6x. And the lasts will give us minus 30. All I do now is I just get like terms together. So we get x squared. 5x minus 6x gives us minus x minus 30. All right, again over here, I'm going to FOIL this because we have a binomial with a binomial. So first, outer, inner, last. So the first, 7 times 4y gives us 28y. The outers will give us minus 49. The inners, minus 4y times 4y gives us minus 16y squared. And then the last, minus 4y times minus 7 gives us plus 28y. All I do now is I get like terms together. So we've got minus 16y squared. Then we've got 28y plus 28y gives us plus 56y. And then we just got the constant term, which is minus 49. All right. When we get something like this, grade 9s, we've got a bracket squared. Remember that that bracket squared means that we have two of these brackets, x minus 9 and x minus 9. That's what the squared means. So we've got a binomial with a binomial. So I FOIL it, first, outer, inner, last. So the firsts will give us x squared, the outers minus 9x, the inners minus 9x, and then the outers plus 81. I get like terms together, so we get x squared minus 18x plus 81. Okay, so with this one here, grade 9s, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the brackets first. We have a binomial with a binomial, so I'm going to FOIL it. Once I've got the answer for that, then I'm going to distribute that minus 5 st into the whatever we have. So we get minus 5 st. Then we're going to FOIL this. So the firsts will give us 3s squared. The outers will give us plus 3st. The inners minus 2st. And then the last will give us minus 2t squared. I'm just going to get like terms together. So minus 5st, 3s squared. St minus 2st gives us minus st minus 2t squared. Now I can distribute this into each term here. Okay, so minus 5 times 3 will give us minus 15. And then we've got s cubed t. S cubed t. Then a minus and a minus gives us the plus. And then we've got 5. St times st gives us s squared t squared. Minus times a minus is a plus. 5 times 2 is 10. S, and then t times t squared is t cubed. And there's our final answer. All right, so again, we've got a situation where it's like this, where we've got a bracket squared. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to write out 2 brackets. And because we've got a binomial with a binomial, we have to FOIL it. Now, grade 9s, do not freak out that there are fractions now, okay? If there are fractions, you just multiply top with top, bottom with bottom. So if we do the firsts, which is this term multiplied by this term, I'm going to multiply top with top, bottom with bottom. So top with top will be x times x is x squared over. Bottom with bottom gives us 4, 2 times 2. Then the outers, this times this, so that's minus. And remember that these 2's are over an invisible 1. So again, guys, I'm just going to do top with top, bottom with bottom. So x times 2 will give us 2x over 2 times 1 will give us 2. Now I'm going to do the inners. So minus times a positive is a negative. Again, top with top, bottom with bottom. 2 times x is 2x over 1 times 2 is 2. Now we do the lasts. A minus times a minus is a positive. 2 times 2 is 4. What I can do now is I can just simplify these two things here. So we get x squared over 4. Now that 2 and that 2 will cancel. And we're left with minus x. Again, this 2 and this 2 will cancel, and we're left with minus x plus 4. Get like terms together, so x squared over 4 minus minus x gives us minus 2x plus 4. And there's our final answer. All right, so we're going on to question H now. Now again, guys, it looks complicated, but it is not that bad. We have a binomial with binomial, so we FOIL. A binomial with binomial, so we FOIL. And then a binomial with a binomial, so we FOIL. The only thing that we need to watch out for is we just need to watch out for this third one over here, because we've got this negative outside. We still need to distribute the negative in once we've simplified. So over here, let's FOIL it. So first, x squared, outers plus 4x, inners minus 4x, lasts minus 16. Over here, firsts plus 3x squared, outers minus 3x, inners plus 2x, lasts minus 2. Minus. Now, I have to open up the bracket here because this minus is going to change the signs in here just now. Okay. So let's FOIL this. We got x squared minus 6x plus 2x minus 12. Okay, get like terms together quickly. So we've got x squared plus 3x squared gives us 4x squared. We've got, so this is a 4x over here. 4x minus 4x cancels. Then we've got minus 3x plus 2x gives us minus x. Then we've got Minus 16 minus 2 is minus 18. I'm just going to simplify what's inside this bracket first. So we get x squared minus 4x minus 12. Now I'm going to distribute that negative inside the bracket here. Okay, so that will give us minus x squared plus 4x plus 12. Again, just get like terms together. So we've got 4x squared minus x squared gives us 3x squared. Minus x plus 4x gives us plus 3x. And then we've got minus 18 plus 12 is minus 6. And that's our final answer there. All right, now we're going on to the factorization. I will post up videos for the factorization if there is any one in particular that you struggle with, guys. But just remember that the order that we go in. So the first thing is common factor. The second thing we look for is dots. The third thing that we look for is trinomial. Okay. And then we look for grouping. Okay, so the fourth one is grouping. All right, so the first one here, if we have a look, first thing is common factor. Do we have a common factor here? Yes, well, 5 can go into 10 and 5, so I can take out the 5. Then we've got a p squared and a p, so I can take out the p. And what are we left with here? 5 times what gives us the 10? It's 2. We've got a p squared, so we need a p minus. We've got a 5p here, so we're just missing the q. Okay. Over here, I got a common factor. And the common factor is this whole bracket. So let's take out that common factor, and we're left with x plus 2. So that's what I've taken out, that's common. What are we left with? A minus 3. All right, this one is almost a common factor. The only difference is here we've got a p minus 2, and here we have a 2 minus a p. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this one look like this one. And again, guys, don't worry, I will post up the individual videos for these, okay, if you don't remember how to do this. So m p minus 2, then this becomes n p minus 2. So what I've done is I've made this one look like this one here. But as soon as I do that, I must change the sign outside here. So this plus will now become a negative, okay? Now, this is now almost similar to this one here. We've got this entire bracket that is common. And I take that common bracket out. And we've got p minus 2, and what are we left with? M minus n. All right. Now, the next one. Do we have a common factor? No, we don't. Is it dots? Well, let's have a look, see. This is a squared number, that's 5 squared. That is to the power of an even number, so that passes. We're subtracting, which is a difference. That is a squared number, which is 4 squared, and that is an even number. So yes, it is a difference of 2 squares. Open up 2 brackets, plus, minus. What times what will give us the 25p squared? It's 5p, 5p. Remember that these things need to be the same, okay? Likewise over here, what times what will give us 16q squared? It's 4q and 4q. And there we factorized it. Right, this one over here, there's no common factor. It's definitely not dots. It has to be a trinomial, okay? So again, guys, I will post up the individual for trinomials. You need to know how to factorize these things, okay? So this will be x, factors of 14, that will give us 5. It's 7 and 2. This needs to be a plus, that needs to be a minus. Okay. Then, moving on to this one here. Okay, this is a difference of 2 squares, okay? Because you have an even power there. 1 is a squared number and 16 is a squared number. So let's factorize it. Plus, minus. What times what will give us a to the 4? It's a squared. Then we've got this fraction. What times what will give us 1? It's 1 and 1. What times what will give us 16? It's 4 and 4. Now, we must just double check that we don't have another difference of 2 squares. This is to the power of an even number. 1 is squared, 4 is squared, but we are not subtracting. So that is not dots. This is to the power of an even number. That's an even number. 1, 4, a square number, and 4 is a squared number. And we are subtracting. This is a difference of two squares. So a squared plus 1 over 4. We're going to now factorize the second bracket, plus minus. What times what gives us a squared? It's a. Then we've got this fraction. What times what gives us 1? It's 1 and 1. What times what gives us 4? It's 2 and 2. And we factorized it. We can't take it any further. All right, this one is a little bit of a tricky one, but it's not too bad, guys. If I have a look here, I have a common factor of x squared minus 4 with each one of those terms. So I'm going to take that out as a common factor. So we've got x squared minus 4. What am I left with? X squared minus 10x plus 21. Okay, so this is dots and this is a trinomial. I am going to factorize them separately, okay? So I'm going to look at the green one first, and then what I'll do is I'll look at the blue one second. Okay, so let's factorize the green one first. So open up two brackets, x plus 2, x minus 2. So that's the green one factorized. Now we're moving on to the trinomial, which is the blue one. The factors of 21, that will give us 10. It's 7 and 3, so 7, 3. Now we just sort out the signs, minus, minus, and then we factorized the blue trinomial. So not too bad, guys. All right, so we're now going on to these algebraic fractions. Now remember, with these algebraic fractions, you're going to be using your factorization skills to simplify them, okay? And what we do, grade 9s, is we look at the numerator separately and the denominator separately, and we factorize them if we can, okay? So at the top here, in the numerator, I'm looking for, remember your 4 steps, I'm not going to write them out again, but the common factor, dots, trinomial, grouping, okay? And possibly grouping we have not done yet, so don't worry too much about that. We'll talk about that at a later stage. Then, so over here in the numerator, I've got a common factor of 5x. So let's take it out. What am I left with? 1 plus 2y, okay? All over 5x. So this 5x will cancel with that 5x, and we are left with 1 plus 2y. We have simplified it using factorization. Then over here, we've got a common factor of 5m. Take it out. And we're left with m minus 5 all over. This is a difference of two squares. We need to factorize that. So that's m plus 5, m minus 5. So the m minus 5 bracket will cancel with the m minus 5 bracket, and we are left with 5m over m plus 5. Grade 9s, please do not make a mistake like this and cancel this m with that m, or even cancel that 5 with that 5. We can't do that, okay? This is as far as we can go with that question. Right, moving on to the next one. Right, so if I have a look at this top here, there's not much I can do with that, so it's just 3b over. Over here, what I can do is I can take out a common factor of b squared, and we are left with b minus 6. Now, with this one over here, what I'm going to do is, because we are dividing by a fraction, we tip and times. So this will be tipped, and we've got b squared minus 36 over 12b, and that changes to a times. Okay, so we've got times. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to factorize that top one there, which is a difference of two squares. So we've got b plus 6, b minus 6, all over 12b. Okay. Now, grade 9s, I look for things to cancel. So the b minus 6 cancels with the b minus 6. we've got 12b will cancel with the 3b, and over here we're just left with 4, and then nothing else cancels. So I'm just going to do top with top, bottom with bottom. So the only top thing that we have is the b plus 6 over. Then we have b squared times 4 gives us 4b squared. Okay, and you can't take it any further than that. Right, going on to the equations now. So with this one here, I just take the 1 to the other side, and we get 4x is equal to 20. Because if I take it to the other side, it becomes a minus. Then I divide through by 4, and I get x is equal to 5. Okay. Over here, x is to the one side, numbers to the other side. So we get 5x minus 3x equals 15 minus 7. 5x minus 3x gives us 2x equals 15 minus 7 gives us 8. Divide through by the 2, and we get x is equal to 4. Right, now with this one over here, we need to find an LCD, and our LCD is, remember that this is over a secret 1. So we're looking for the lowest number that 4, 3, and 1 go into, and that is 12. So I'm going to multiply everything by 12. So 12 multiplied by that term, 12 multiplied by that term, and then 12 multiplied by that term. So 4 goes into 12 3 times, so we're left with 3 times x minus 3 goes into 12 4 times, and we're left with that times 2x equals. The 1 doesn't cancel with the 12, so we're just left with 12 times the top, which is 5. Okay, so this will give us 3x minus 8x equals 60. So 3x minus 8x gives us minus 5x equals 60. Divide through by minus 5, and you get x is equal to minus 12. And that's our solution there. Right, this one here, I'm going to take the minus 18 to the other side because it's squared, so we'll get a trinomial. So x squared minus 9x plus 18 equals 0. Factorize the trinomial, and you get x minus 6, x minus 3 equals 0. Remember, you have something times something equals to 0. So that means x minus 6 equals 0, or x minus 3 equals 0. You can solve for this one. X is equal to 6, x is equal to 3. And there's our solutions. Right, this is similar to this one over here. I just need to find an LCD. So we're looking for the lowest number that 3, 6, and 6 go into, and that is going to be 6. Then that one has an x, no x, x, so we need an x. So I'm going to multiply everything by 6x. 6x times that one, 6x times that one, and 6x times that one. So 3 goes into 6 twice, x is cancelled, and it'll be 2 times the top, plus 6 will cancel with that 6, and we're left with x times 4 equals, that 6x will cancel with that 6x, and we're just left with 12 plus 5x. Okay, I need to distribute the 2 in, and then that x in, so we get 2x plus 4 plus 4x equals 12 plus 5x. X is to this side, numbers to that side. So we get 2x plus 4x minus 5x equals 12 minus 4. All right, so that gives us 6x minus 5x gives us x equals 12 minus 4 is 8. All right, going into an exponential one now. Remember, with these ones, you need to get your bases the same. So we get 2x plus 1 equals, can I represent the 16 as 2 to the power of something? Well, yes, we can. So it's 2 to the power of 4. Now, because our bases are the same, we've got 2 and 2. It means that the exponents must be equal. So this must be equal to that. So we get x plus 1 equals 4. Take the 1 to the other side, so we get x must be equal to 3. All right. Right, grade 9s, we are now going on to the geometry section. Okay, so they've told us here, in the figure below, AC, this whole line here, is parallel to DF, and we have that AE, this line segment, is equal to BE, that line segment there. Okay, it goes on to say here, complete the following table. Write down either the missing reason or complete the statement by filling in the size of the angle. No calculation steps need to be shown. So over here, we've got x is equal to something, and it says adjacent angles on a straight line. So here's your x. So x plus 50 must be equal to 180 because it's angles on a straight line. So what must x be equal to? It must be equal to 130 because 130 plus 50 gives us 180. Then it goes on to say that E3 is equal to 50. So this angle over here is equal to 50. And what is our reason? Well, we've got this parallel line and this parallel line here. And as you can see, it makes that Z, which is alternate angles. So this is alternate angles. And we must state which lines were parallel. And they told us here, AC parallel DF. They then go on to say that B is equal to 50. And we're missing the reason. And if you have a look here, we have this side is equal to this side. So this is an isosceles triangle. So remember, angles opposite equal sides are equal. So that's 50. That must be 50. So it is angles opposite equal sides. Then they go on to say that E4 is equal to something. And it says interior angles of a triangle EAB. EAB. Now, if this is 50, that is 50. And that one they've said we don't know. If we add those angles up, they should equal to 180 because the angle's in a triangle. So that gives us 100. So that must be 80. Then E5, angles on a straight line. So E5 is over here. So 50 plus 80 gives us 130. So this must be 50 because that adds up to 180, angles on a straight line. Then E1, vertically opposite. So this is vertically opposite here. So E1 must be 80 degrees. Okay. Then it says name one pair of adjacent angles in the diagram above. Now remember, adjacent means next to. Okay, so I'm just going to label maybe two pairs. Okay, so we've got here E1 and E2. They are next to each other. In other words, they are adjacent. So E1 and E2. All right, let's have a look at this one here. So we've got E3 and E4 are adjacent. And E4. Okay, and then there's many other ones. This angle is adjacent to that one. There's nothing adjacent to this one. You see there's no other angle there. Guys, there's plenty that you could choose from there. Okay, then it says name one pair of corresponding angles in the diagram. So let's just have a look, see here. Okay, so we're looking for corresponding. Now what I'm going to do is I'm looking for, remember the corresponding makes the F. So if I've got this one over here, and we've got to make it with the parallel lines. So if I got this, like that. So that angle and that angle are corresponding. Okay, I could have gone the other way. No, I can't go the other way. No, I can go this way. So we can go this way like this. So this is corresponding to that like that. Okay, so you can choose whichever one you want. Right, so this here won't be in your exam. That won't be in your exam. Pythag, on the other hand, will be in your exam. So Let's have a look-see here. It says, in the following diagram, which side is the hypotenuse? Justify your answer. So the hypotenuse is always opposite the 90 degrees. Okay, so this is the side opposite the 90, so it's AC. So AC must be the hypotenuse. Why? Because it is the side opposite the 90 degrees. Okay. Then it goes on to say, calculate the length of AB. So we want to find out this length here. With reasons, leave your answer, insert form. So this is a side that we want to find. We've got this side, we know the hypotenuse. So this is going to be AB squared plus 8 squared equals 13 squared. Now remember our reason, Pythag. All right, so we can work out what this is. So this is going to be AB squared. And guys, I'm just going to miss some steps here. 13 squared is 169. I take this to the other side and becomes a minus, and then 8 squared is 64. So we get AB squared is equal to 169 minus 64 is 105. Then I take the square root, and AB is equal to the square root of 105. Okay. Then it goes on to say here, triangle XYZ has the following measurements. We have XY is 10 meters, YZ is 3, and then XZ is 7. Show where the triangle XYZ is a right angle triangle. No reasons are required. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to prove Pythag. So you remember Pythag is x squared plus y squared equals h squared. And h is always the longer side. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to choose the two shorter sides, which is this one and this one. And then I'm going to see if I sum these two and square them, if it's equal to this side squared, okay, because that's the longer side. So we've got here 3 squared plus 7 squared. That'll give us 9 plus 49. And we get 58. Okay. Then on this one here, we will get 10 squared, and that gives us 100. Now, because these are not equal, it is not a right angle triangle, not a 90-degree triangle. Okay. If, however, that came out to be 100, then yes, it would be a 90-degree triangle. All right, guys, so let's go into this one here. That is definitely not in your exam. Okay, so now we're going on to these problem-solving type questions. Guys, these things are different in every exam. Okay, so what I want you to do, just have a look through this memo and stuff like that, try and understand it, and then, yeah, they're different in every exam, but you must just think outside the box with these type of questions. And then likewise with this one over here. Okay, it's a word sum. Maybe I can go through this one with you guys, just to show you. Guys, the memos are up on Teams, so you can always have a look at the solutions. So this one says here, a mother is 3 times as old as her daughter. 6 years ago, the mother's age was 6 times that of her daughter's. How old are they now? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the daughter's age be X, because I don't know what it is. So it says here the mother is 3 times older. So the mother will now be 3x. She's 3 times as older. So now let's have a look. 6 years ago, that's what they're saying here. 6 years ago, her age would be x minus 6. Her age would be 3x minus 6. That's 6 years ago. And it says here that the mother's age will be 6 times the daughter's. So this will be 6 times the daughter's, and this will be equal. Okay. So now what we can do is we can just distribute in there. So we get 6x minus 36 equals 3x minus 6. X is this side, numbers that side. So we get 6x minus 3x equals minus 6 plus 36. That'll leave with us with 3x is equal to 30. So x is equal to 10. So that means that the daughter is 10 years. And then the mother is 3 times older. So that will be the mother is 30 years old. Okay. Grade 9s, please go and have a look how we do this one in the memo. Okay, it's not that bad. They're different in every exam, so there's no point in me really going through this. Okay, guys, good luck.